Oh, the next thing will be fun to talk about, man.
Yes.
Because it's delves.
Delves.
What do you think about delves?
What do I think about delves? Are you ready for negativity?
Delves could be amiss if they if multiple things don't happen. Let's put it that way.
They did not impress me whatsoever. They depressed me, actually.
I think they also they were given to us in a way where it was fundamentally impossible for them to impress me.
Yeah. So
because basically there's 10 levels in total. We got level 1 and 2.
They said 10. There's an achievement for an 11 in this file, so it could be more.
Basically, we got the one that, like, even in the game, it describes as for those who want minimal challenge. I mean, you look at something, it dies.
So,
in fact, we may even have video evidence of this.
Now that I've finished eating, briefly, could you, dear gamer, even the most casual among you, could you achieve the incredible task?
Webs. Nerubians might pop out if you do.
I mean, whenever I was playing it, a lot of the time, because the spiders that spawn from the webs, I just run through them.
I just did that check and
Some annoying spiders.
Yeah.
Very challenging.
And then I'm like, all right, well, amazing dodge. And then I was like, right, I'll play your game. And apparently,
tip in those webs.
So this is you.
My bad.
This is you in a plus.
I didn't check my audio levels for that specifically. My bad.
This is you in a +2.
Yeah. Let me check that.
So, what the +2 does is the +2 spawns in those Nerubian traps.
Yeah.
Those deadly traps.
Very sorry. That should be fixed. This is what happens when you don't have your audio monitoring on. I apologize. But yeah, so yeah, there's the mechanic of this place. Is you do this. Like, there's more than this. There's like a 5, 6,
So the question then is, as you go up those tiers, will there be more layers of mechanics?
Yeah, that's what you kind of.
What will they do?
Right? Yeah,
because I don't really care at this level. What I want to know is, at the level where anyone would be playing at endgame, what are these like?
Yeah,
because they give you these power boosts, almost like Torghast powers in the form of treasures. And look, if I was presented with a challenge that meant that I actually cared about what things I got in a given run, then we could be going somewhere. Obviously, it's completely irrelevant here because you don't need any of that.
Yeah, so to move on...
You don't even come close to needing any of it.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, like, Ian said these were, like, moderate challenge in the Wildcast, and I'm like... Please show me someone who thinks this is moderate challenge. Like, I get it. If you're like, I don't want to just play the game, or if you're like literally not playing, that's fine. But like, it's not moderate. It's minuscule. It's like one is.
Wait, did he say that these were a moderate challenge?
And that's how they're described in the game. Tier 1 is minimum challenge. Tier 2 is moderate challenge. And I'm like, and by the way, I intentionally on this character, I intentionally did not. That's probably too late. Fuck.
Didn't take hero talents.
Yeah, I intentionally didn't take hero talents. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I intentionally didn't take hero talents. You take one, right? You get the one from hitting level 71. But I didn't take them because I knew I would probably over buff you a little bit. So this is like this darkness thing. Reduces your max health and does damage to you. Until you pick up a candle. And the candle goes down with individual steps taken. There's a wax number, but it's not exposed to you at the minute. I assume it will be. So you do have to like be vaguely vaguely economical with your steps, but that's not challenging because you just walk in a straight line to your goal.
Yeah.
So you do that. There's a rare that spawns and like, oh, okay, well I got ambushed by a rare. That's cool. And you can see where the challenge might come in here, which is I literally did not dodge and I just died.
What?
I got hit for 1.2 mil there.
Oh my god.
I was like, okay, right, well, that was interesting. Then I came back, and this guy had kept that health, by the way. So you could just Zerg rares if this is intentional. You can just Zerg rares and bosses instead of like resetting. And this time I was like, I'll just I'll kill them, dodge it, whatever else. And I click this, and I got I get healed 6,000. That's reasonably strong. 6,000 every second is at least like a couple percentage. And then I think another one here. Yeah, another one here, which is no, shouldn't you mind? Yeah, I did lightning damage, just some lightning damage. And like that's not really interesting because they have to be basic. They can't be the Torghast ones that are like thing. They can't be very interesting.
It's unfortunate there's not a pool of class-based ones.
Yeah. So I continue on down here, and you may see like some Torghast kind of people like, Torghast, and it's just I pull some boys and I blow them up. There's Bran dropping steel traps and doing like his volley and stuff, and he's kind of helpful. He does every time he loots and stuff. He makes you he gives you bonus gold. He puts a campfire down so you can sit and eat at it and like rest. If you're low, he like tells you if you're low mana and stuff like that. There's just full bold. I'm just like, just it seems like Torghast are extra steps. It seems like Torghast will less steps, to be honest with you. But it's like it's a linear thing, right? So it is every time you come in here, it is Kriegsville's rest, 6 out of 11 keepsakes recovered.
Do you know what I think about?
The rares maybe change. The rares move places and stuff like that, or sometimes don't spawn. But it is doing the same thing.
You see about Diablo dungeons interesting because they removed a bunch of their objectives because they were just kind of slowing people down.
Yeah, and it's like, is that the ultimate fate here? Instead of do you want to run around webs to click things or run to the end, kill the boss? And it's kind of weird.
The point is like, that's fine, the first few times.
Yeah. So like here's the boss of this place, and like, obviously tuning and stuff. I do just sort of delete him. And he did like one bit of fire on the ground, which is just not super interesting. And then there was the treasure room, which now this is interesting that I find is strange. So that's I just auto run right through, just like you pick a plunder storm mechanic. Remember that? You open your chest, but then there's 2 locked chests, and there's where you need the keys, which are like the weekly limiter. Yeah. So you only get like one of those chests a week. Or you only open one of them a week. I don't know what triggers at the spawn. I think it might just be a second run through something after the intro run, because this is my second run of Kriegville's.
Right.
And nothing showed up in the first one, and nothing showed up in the first of the others. But it did feel weird to me to jump in and go, I have lots of locked chest. I wonder if players will like that. There's my loot. Oh no, I can't get my loot. I'm upset. You can also reset these by going outside and right-clicking reset instance, but that's not exposed. That was me going, I'm supposed to be able to run these again? How do I do that? Oh, I hit reset instance because I know how that works. So there's quite a few things that are like yet to be kind of made clear and solved on that front. Because you don't want to, because like, say if I didn't reset this, I could leave and then come back later and run to the exit and pick up these chests with the key I got.
Okay,
which is,
right, yeah.
I don't really know. It's not your loot then. But it is, because it's right fucking there. Why can't I pick the chest up and bring it with me? It's the sort of thing. It's the user experience
packaging.
Thing. Yeah.
I would say packaging is reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's that sort of thing, the whole post-truth. That isn't my loot, but it feels like it's my loot because of how this whole thing has been presented. Now, I'm not making this point from my own perspective. What I'm doing is saying that is how a lot of people will feel. Yeah. And they will just say how they feel. They won't think about why it's like that. They will just say how they feel. Yep. And then that can explain some of the angrier feedback you get.
Indeed. So there's another one, Fungal Folly, which I'll just show for the sake of kind of completeness. These are the 3 available to us on Alpha at the minute because they're in Isle of Dorn. We can't go to any other zones just yet. That'll be next week, I believe. They said something about weekly or something like it. And it's just, here's, like, these guys are cool. The Fungarians are cool. Little overgrown mushroom people, and there's like a storyline to them and stuff like that. You got, increase maybe about 50% for 1 minute. I'll take that. That's fun. Only slightly, but it's fun. A moldy Nerubian. I was like, look at that. Environmental storytelling. And Nerubian got in here and died. Cool. So they're not allies. And then what do I do then? This one is just like a little defense thing where there's a couple of because the point here is you have to rescue scouts that went in, earthen scouts that went in, and in this case you just kill a boy. Is it like a mini boss kind of thing?
These are similar to scenarios.
They're like really
Just
small
a little bit more
scenarios
open, maybe.
with a little bit. Yeah, they're more open. There's more stuff. Like here's a quest, for example. There's the quest to get. I get extra experience for Bran by finishing this quest for doing this the first time, which is like all right. It's a. I failed to find any fun in these because I was like, where's anything that's interesting to do? And it's like they look great. The reason for being in there is kind of reasonable enough. It's like this is the alpha version or something. Yeah, the thing I'd say about that is everything else seems substantially more cooked. Whereas I'm like, these are the more experimental features, so I'm going to be a little harsher on the experience for them. And it's also the only thing I played that I was like, this kind of isn't where I expected it to be. It's like there's really not a whole lot to do, and what is here is very undercooked. So I just kind of don't super. It's like I'm not going to say, it's just Torghast but underground. Why do they add a hated system? It's not that. It's just what it actually is some combination of not finished and not set in stone. Like seeing the difficulty where maybe like bosses have more interesting mechanics. Sure, that would make it more interesting to actually play.
Yeah, because like right now, nothing in them matters.
Yeah, if mobs do stuff. Yeah. And it's not even just matters mechanically. It's like, if this was a hard version of this, I would just be against the gear wall.
Yeah.
Because I'm a decent enough player, I can roughly max out what I'm doing when I'm playing, right? It's like, this stuff is neat, but I'm not like, yippee, because it's not part of like a challenge or platform, it's just there. If you gave me a load of those, and I had to go which way, and I had to like track which, this bounces you this, I have to pick a direction to go. And if I like go the right way, I get extra loot or something like that, that'll be fine. That's the kind of stuff you see Legion-y style platformy things.
And the question then is, where does the fun come in?
Yeah.
What will make it fun? Will turning up a few knobs make it fun? Probably not alone.
No, not at all. Not at all. It would help because the natural mechanics of the game would be more there.
Yeah.
But it does feel like a little bit... that's a good way to put it. A follower dungeon cross with a world quest. A little bit like that.
Whoa.
A little bit like this is a big world quest, which is
I don't think they would find that to be charitable.
They wouldn't enjoy that.
That's not their design intent.
Yeah, that's a little bit what it feels like just because there's not much going on in here. Like there's the boss and he does a fungal storm and it's faster than I can kind of run away from because I get like walled in and those things knock me around. So it's just like there's just not an awful lot to it, and especially when they blow them up, which is because the longer you spend, the more the natural mechanics of the game come through, right? But that's all there is to it. There's not a whole pile more, and then you get into the issue of what we call this is class agnostic and player agnostic and player number agnostic, which means you just go, well, you can't make me interrupt. Because what if a holy priest does this?
Yeah.
Or a displaced river?
Oh, that's...
You can't make me use, say, a specific defensive. Maybe you could get away with that. But like it feels a little bit of just there's maybe stuff that's like popping up that's kind of there's more stuff should happen that kind of is randomized. But World of Warcraft finds it very difficult to reward you in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you can't just go and here's some bonus stuff because if it gives me a number of gold that's below 1,000 or below 100, I go.
The thing is, if you're playing Diablo, you just keep on doing nightmare dungeons forever, and you might get some gear, you might get whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's not like that in WoW.
Yeah, because you'll get gear every time you do it, but it'll be green gear.
Yeah, unless you're using one of those keys.
It'll be gear you don't want.
Yeah.
Or gear you don't need, theoretically, unless you send it off to alt stuff like that. And it's kind of that where, like, comparing this to, say, the dungeon mechanics, I enjoy the dungeons a lot more. And it's not like, oh, well, the fact that there's 4 other people makes it different. No, it's like I had stuff to do. Whereas in this, I don't have stuff to do that often or that much. It's like, what's the example? Like, this wee boy's cool. Like, this wee boy's actually cool. You activate him, he blows away. That just literally bugged. Or like a lag thing. If you get hit by that, I tested it, you get knocked. If I needed to do that to avoid mechanics, suddenly would have some gaming. If I could do that to jump to a platform that had something on it that gave me a bonus, now would be gaming. But you run into these been infinitely repeatable. Yeah, what do you do? You can't give me anything good because I get to farm it. You can't give me it once a week because then I go, that's a weekly. You can't give me nothing because then I go, what's the point? And you're like, fuck.
Damn.
What do you do?
This gamer has a response for everything.
Yeah, this gamer has a way to call everything you try shit, which is just like that's because they're restrained within the design stuff, which is weird because this is what Blizzard makes if you ask for withered training like experience for a few expansions. No, because the withered army training fucking owned. I liked it. Why did I like it? The actual mechanics of the withered army were more interesting.
Yeah.
The mechanics of like optimizing your run through that was difficult. Not difficult, but there was an element of you can do better or you can do worse. This is fucking show up and do it. I'm not going to say it needs a timer, but it needs something that actually fulfills the need of what you're doing matters in some capacity. There's the naturalistic mattering of I want this fucking done with, but like I'll speedrun it and get done. It's fine. It's over. But
Well, this is where we get back to Dead Cells.
Yeah.
Where Dead Cells, depending on either completion percentage or time, will give you some sort of additional reward at the end of a stage, right?
Yeah.
Because it used to be, I think it used to be just time. And then they realized that, well, now everybody's just playing it like it's a speed run. Yep. So they added in something that would
version?
Be the exploration version.
And do not even dare add a damn timer to this. I would not suggest that in any capacity. It would make it substantially worse. As an experience, for sure. There's something else there. Do you think this is just a fundamental issue with Delves as a whole, or just because it's not at the higher tiers yet? I think a little bit more mechanical complexity, or a little more anything in the middle of them, and I would have a substantially less of a problem. This isn't a binary. This isn't this needs to fix a core fundamental problem and change, or I won't like it. But it is basically me going, I struggle to see how a raw harder version of this, because obviously the point is these scale up. And if they scale up to 10 plus difficulties, they're not hand-picked difficulties across 12 delves. Yeah. They haven't made 120 versions of delves. They haven't done that. Also more because there's secret ones apparently.
Okay, that's
They said there's 12 known and some secrets, which is that's cool as well. So like, I feel like it needs a...
So these are repeatable levels in a game. What makes them fun?
Yeah, and to me, like you can say...
then you reach the problem. Yeah. Sorry, it's not Mario 64. It's just not a fun game.
Yeah,
done. Over.
Yeah, exactly. There's a little bit of that, yeah.
And that is to talk about something inherent to the genre. Mm-hmm. That's what maybe dragon riding gives you to, making it feel a little bit more dynamic, feeling like, there's skill involved, which there is in dragon riding.
Yeah.
Skill in how you do the minutiae. Whereas in something like this, it's just pure standard MMO movement, everything, right? So whenever somebody's playing something like Diablo, maybe it's about like the speed, whatever is going on with their build, just how many mobs they can kill at once. That form of player expression, which is just not as existent in World of Warcraft. There's differences.
Yeah. And
in Mario 64, it's movement mechanics.
This is where we really, really badly struggle with. The entirety of the game industry struggles with this.
Yeah.
Where is fun? And no one has an answer. The only people that reliably have an answer for what is fun is the developers at Nintendo EAD. Because they're the only people who go into a lab and come out and go, this is fun.
I think a lot of it's probably
and everyone goes, how the fuck did you do that? And they just go, I'm not saying shit. Also, we don't really know. We just sat and did stuff until it was fun.
Start with a toy.
Yeah, and that's
I think
the thing.
That's the core thing. Start with a toy. Start with a movement kit that feels fun. Build traversal challenges around the movement kit. And then suddenly you have just created a platforming game. It's harder, I think, to do that in an MMO because they're so much more systems driven.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't need to be because one of the things is it'll be easy to conflate this more fun with more challenging. More challenging would be more fun, but also more shit to do, more fun. It's like Mario 64 is not a hard game. If you're speedrunning it, yes. If you haven't played it much and you're struggling with controls, yes. But if you're just playing that shit to grab a star, it is not hard whatsoever.
As an
but
example,
it's fun to just do. To triple jump is just fun because you go jump, jump, jump. That's just like your brain just goes, yes, nice, very good every time.
So, maybe there are aspects of a character's movement kit to consider. Maybe environmental traps and interactions.
Yeah.
I mean, we think about the flipping chains in Nathalris.
Yeah.
Just pulling enemies through things, doing stuff like that, maybe.
I've got the perfect example. Please, for the love of God, tell me I have the perfect example. Please tell me. I do have the perfect example, please. Am I a dickhead? Here. This is what I consider fun in World of Warcraft. Where's it at?
Let's see. Now, is this going to be disgusting and horrific?
No, I don't I'm a shithead. I don't have the clip I want. Fuck.
What? Okay, but what is going on?
So this is actually more. This is also kind of fun a little bit more. This is you're defending the Maidry leader. So we have defense.
Oh,
we line wave defense, where you have things you put down that little traps for the waves. Put them down, and then rubies when you shoot them. But I will say the part of this that I actually meant to have. I don't have it, do I? No, because that's way earlier. Yeah, this is just Nerubian attacks. So you see the keg with the rope up there, in that ladder. The quest before this is to connect those. So what you do is you don't run over and click and go, it's done. You don't fly around and click. You click the ladder. The ladder brings you up to the top of those, and from above those are just straight planks. Just scaffolding kind of thing. And you walk across the scaffolding, click the rope, jump down, attach to the keg. That was fun. Why was that fun? I fucking don't know. All I know is I clicked it, I walked along the narrow thing, which made me have to, instead of pointing at my target and hitting auto run, I went, I'm going to walk across and then turn and walk across.
Because it works.
That was fun.
Because it just works.
Yeah.
And there's something about that. Whenever people watch, because actually I think a really good way to validate some forms of game ideas to see what explodes algorithmically in TikTok.
Yeah.
Power washing simulator. Hello.
Yeah, that shit. I played that for
there's just these videos of people, shaving and fixing the hooves of cows.
Yeah.
And you look at that and you're like, oh, this is absolutely crack to people. They're like, oh my God, what sort of weird pustule is going to be under this horn? Who knows?
Yeah.
Some people absolutely love that shit. The way that they'll put maybe a Subway Surfers gameplay in a TikTok to increase engagement, or they'll put, things being sliced.
Subway Surfers is fun to play, not to watch. Yes.
Things being sliced in a way where it looks satisfying, or people, a hand and some goo, and look at how the goo moves. It's satisfying. There's just I suppose there's a physicality. There's a physicality and fun. There's things like fitting in a way that is satisfying, that is in fun. And you see that in like a platforming game.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like, oh, this is that distance. My perfectly done triple jump will take me that far. I will now do it perfectly. Look at that. It's harder to do that in a game that is more driven by like abilities, health bars, numbers.
Yeah, substantially so. Especially when
when you don't have that level of interactivity and movement mechanics, because they do in WoW, but the way that works in WoW is you have to move up to an interactable entity and then click on it or use an interact key, which is different, because whenever you interact with something in WoW, it feels like an object that has been put there, rather than something that's just in the world, so to speak. And it's a really strange. It's a hard challenge for them to solve. Again, looking at Diablo-like games, how many of them have tried so many different versions of, can we make a dungeon be fun forever? Now, I don't think that these spider webs are. I don't think they're it. So far.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because just walking around that because it's impeding me is different to it being like a narrow platform to walk across. Because that's just, I get slightly annoyed if I step on that.
See, I think that's the thing. It's a passive form of resistance.
Yeah.
Like this would be more fun if those spawn spiderlings, and if those spiderlings either attacked the thing that you were trying to protect, in this case the minecart, or maybe just went straight for the player. And a part of your gameplay was to get a torch and then to burn all of those. And if a spiderling is in the fire, it dies as well. So then the player gets that very sort of tangible, physical kind of like, oh, I've burnt the thing. Everything in the thing that was burnt has been killed. And maybe the fire spreads in an interesting way depending on how they have spawned. Yeah. And like then you start to have like a little bit of toy being put into it. Thinking about people drawing dicks in the Warlords of Draenor, the one intro scenario.
Powder keg, yeah.
Okay, well, if you have something like a powder keg, can you actually do a little mechanic based on that? I guess it's like that's kind of where you're finding some of the interactivity based fun outside of WoW's core combat loop.
Yeah, because like there's a decent chance where I maybe had would have had more fun if I wasn't playing this on a paladin. Because I think Red Paladin is finding content, but for soloing it's a bit visceral.
Oh, just because it's so powerful.
Yeah, but also these guys were so weak that I didn't matter. I didn't care how well I did my damage. This would be a different story. Like I'd probably enjoy this slightly more if I was playing a mage, because I'd have to worry about getting melee hit and stuff instead of just being like lol shield of vengeance, LMAO, eat shit. Well, there's another example where Timeless Isle. The jumping puzzles in Timeless Isle. Did you know that people call them jumping puzzles, Michael?
Jumping puzzles. Never heard of them.
Do you remember
What?
The one where you go up the ramp and then there's 4 wee pillars?
Yeah.
And people used to fall off that.
Yeah.
I did that in Mop Remix. I nearly laughed because I was on a mountain. I just went jump, jump, jump. And I didn't think of it. I could have fallen. I had fun. I did 1, 2. I did 3 jumps, and it was fun because I could have fallen, but I did it right. Yeah. And it was a minor amount of fun.
Do those?
I'm like,
do those more.
Why am I not doing some Indiana Jones shit here? Like,
actually, a lot of this is just thinking like, what situations would make for an okay old movie Indiana Jones segment?
Yeah, bro, just fucking play Terminator.
Yeah,
and give these another world. Because but I guess they need them to be easy for players as well, which is the point that bugs me. Because it's like how do you scale difficulty for World of Warcraft players? Not numbers. You give more mechanics. Will they do this? Who knows? But like, I don't have footage of it here. But in this dungeon, remember how Torghast's full of traps?
Yeah.
And you just like get fucking whacked about by big swinging blades.
I mean,
and stuff.
I thought that the big trap rooms were fun, but a lot of other people hated them.
Yeah.
Really hated them.
Yeah, I think those people, thoughts of those people anyway. They're not great, but
I think there's a lot of people, they expect to be able to, right? They expect to be able to achieve success by putting in the time. And if they put in the time, they're owed the success.
That is the most ass-backward way of looking at the universe. Holy
and that
sweet
is,
fuck.
Unfortunately, Matt, how a great many people do actually look at the universe.
That's horrendous.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The whole point there is, no, you get past the trap by learning how to move and time things.
Yeah, like I actually really like getting into the flow. If you know the ones that shot the wee orbs?
Oh, yeah.
And you walked up and stopped?
Yeah, you walk up, stop, it shoots, you walk through.
Yeah.
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 Easy.
Do you know what was there were candle traps that were like the usual trap thing of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's like it's on fire. They start one and then they disappear in the timber. So you like once 3 is the last one left, you move to time it to go through before 1 starts again. That like extremely simple stuff. And then I went, how much damage is this? Oh, I don't have to care about these. Oh, I can press Shield of Vengeance and walk through the fire. Oh, or there's another one which I'm sure it's just like they have a bit of work to do on it, but there's one where there's one of the interactables that give you a buff behind a trap of like 2 candles shooting fire at each other for a bit and stopping. You just walk around one of the candles. And I was like, this is alpha.
No.
This is alpha.
Yeah.
You probably just went, that looks fine. Let's move it slightly a little bit over. So like that's obviously easily fixable, whatever. But there is just that question. Like, what can I envision a version of these based on what I've played that at launch I will think is fun? And I have doubt, which is something that I am very happy to voice as feedback.
Of
And I
course.
hope there's a solution.
And the problem here is that it's got to appeal to so many people that it's going to be really hard to design something that everybody finds to be fun.
Yeah, this like there is a growing fear in my heart that this will be like, hey, what do you like in your video games? Do you like things that are solo challenges? Do you like the Mage Tower? Did you have some fun in Horrific Visions? I actually didn't like Horrific Visions much because they were substantially more efficient in a group than solo. That was one of my big problems. If you give me one of these, because I actually really love the idea of these. And if they just go, and sorry, actually, you're slightly too high on the mid-core ranking, so this isn't for you. This is for casuals and lower mid-core, despite being positioned as somewhat otherwise. I'm like, that'll be personally disappointing, considering I love the Withered Army training so much.
Yeah.
And liked Alpha Torghast. And liked Torghast as a game mode, if not a part of World of Warcraft.
You see, I'm thinking about a certain Battle for Azeroth dungeon that you thought had a fun element that they never did again. Seathralis?
Oh, yeah. Citralis. Yeah, the orbs were fucking sick. Yeah. I'm just...
I don't think that was the average opinion of
Yeah, well, the average opinion's wrong.
participants of that dungeon.
If I take the opinion that the position that I am objectively correct, that makes the average wrong. Have fun, dickheads.
That's how to do it. Sorry, I have to. You cannot defeat me in this argument.
I have the high ground.
Officially taken the position that I'm right.
I have the high ground, mate.
Man,
I have the high
I guess
ground.
that's what like kings could do in the past.
Yeah,
Like, sorry, God put me here and I'm right.
That's why the term "the mandate of heaven's" going around Twitter a lot. It's like, I have the mandate of heaven. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Or someone fucks up and you say you've lost the mandate of heaven. That's a strong.
Oh,
one.
that's a good
That's
one.
a strong one. Anyway, yes, delves. I hope they are better at higher difficulties. I hope there's more mechanics in them. Otherwise, I hope these are very early looks. Or I'm just going to have to say these are not for me, and they're for people who
aren't you
probably-
happy face smiley?
who I would,
Hi, happy face smiley, smiley happy.
who I imagine getting behind the wheel of a car, and I get very sad for some reason.
No, smiley happy, smiley happy, smiley happy.
Yeah, smiley happy, smiley happy.
I think it is fair to say the delves are a design challenge.
They definitely are, and I appreciate that.
The poor bastards.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's going to be hard. It's just going to be so hard to put together, man. I don't know. It's like they can be fine little slices of WoW, but it's a bit weird because, you know, like the little rat sniffing thing.
Yeah, Sniff and Seeking was more interesting than this.
The thing for me with that is like most of them were wank, a few of them were cool. And it's not like they were wank because they were, you know, badly designed. It's just because evidently, you know, you had to make all of those. And they're clearly all designed to be done within like 5 minutes. So there's only so much they can be versus Scaravolts, which, you know, just could be designed differently. Yeah, a challenge. I don't think I am feeling as grim, but I am certainly feeling mixed. But not mixed because of some, like, you know, awful feature shit devs, you know, sort of take. It's more just I feel like this needs to appeal to so many different slices of player preference that I'm really struggling to see a version that I will find really fun, but also that other people will find really fun. You know, it's almost as if the best case scenario is it is another slice of World of Warcraft. And maybe that's all it has to be to succeed in its goals.
Yeah.
But if it's too much lower than that, then we have an issue.
Yeah, it is. It's also interesting because if it's kind of not for, if it's kind of not for me,
I think we effed again.
Do we? I have an F for you, YouTube. How's that? How's that?
Wild.
Not an F on our side, seemingly.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Cool, fine. Yeah. So we'll move on, but I think I don't want to doom about them because I don't like them. It's a combination of I don't like them and I struggle to see how anyone goes, or how anyone plays them and doesn't go. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Which hopefully it's fine. Anyway.